All right, so now we're just going to practice solving our systems using inverses. So anytime we see solve using a matrix equation, that's implying that inverse method that we talked about in that previous video. So I would like you to pause and then go ahead and solve these three systems using that inverse method. All right, so first thing we are doing is setting up the inverse equation, or the system, the matrix equation. So we're going to start with our coefficient matrix. So this will be 5, -3, 4, -2 times our variable matrix of xy equal to the constants. So 5, 10. Okay, so now remember, every time that we are doing this, we want to think of it as matrix A times x equals our matrix B. Okay. And then to get the x by itself, we are multiplying both sides by the inverse of A. So that means that x will always be equal to the inverse of A times matrix B. Okay. And then this is our matrix A, our x, and our B. Okay. So I'm applying this rule every single time for these. So my first step then is going to be to find the determinant of A, because I need that in order to calculate the inverse. So the determinant of A, so this will be -10 minus a -12, so really we're adding. So that will give me a +2. All right, so now I'm going to take 1/2 times that flipped matrix, so the -2 and 5 switch positions, the 4 and -3 switch signs, and then we're going to take that times 5 and 10. Okay. Now, we're just applying our matrix multiplication rule, and again, we're going to wait to multiply in the scalar. So I have a 2×2 and a 2×1. So inside numbers match, so that means I'm going to have 2 rows, 1 column. So the 1/2 gets carried through. 2 rows, 1 column. And then we're just going to keep simplifying. So rows by columns. So -2 times 5 is -10, plus -3 times 10 is -30. -4 times 5 is -20, plus 5 times 10 is 50. So I'm just simplifying along. So 1/2 gets carried through. And then if we combine our numbers, this will be -40 and a +30. And now we are distributing in that 1/2. So really we are dividing by, oh wait, hold on, I forgot to flip my number here. So this is actually a +3, which means that this is a +30. So this is going to be a +20. Sorry, guys. All right, so we are distributing in the 1/2. So 1/2 divided by 2 is going to give me 10. And then 30 divided by 2 is 15. And then I'm writing my final answer as that point. So remember, this is x and y. So my point of intersection is 10, 15. All right, so continuing on to the next one. Again, starting with that coefficient matrix. So -1, 1, -2, 2 times xy equals 5, 8. So again, I'm still following this up here, so I need to start with my determinant. So the determinant of A is going to give me -2 minus a -2, so I'm really adding, so that's going to give me 0. So here I'm going to have 1/0 times that flipped matrix, so 2, -1, +2, -1, and then times 5, 8. So as I'm looking at this, I have 1 divided by 0, which is not allowed with a fraction. So that means at this point, it is not possible for us to solve this. And that is because our determinant is equal to 0. So this would be our answer for this. Now, I'm not allowed to write no solution because that means something different. We have to write not possible because it's not possible for us to solve this specific system using matrices. So it's just kind of a side note. When this happens, so keep in mind, it could be a no solution answer or infinitely many solutions. So we don't know. So that's why we're not allowed just to say no solution. We would have to do some other method to actually find out if it's no solution or infinitely many. Okay, so keep that in mind. So this has to say not possible. If you write no solution, I'm going to mark it wrong on your test. Okay. All right, last example. So setting up our coefficient matrix times the variable matrix equal to the constants. All right, so again, following this, starting with figuring out the determinant. So that will be -5 minus 12, so -17. So I will have -1/17 times, and then -1 and 5 switch. The 4 and 3 change signs, and then we will have 7, 3. All right, so 2 by 2, 2 by 1. So inside numbers match. So we will have 2 rows, 1 column for that answer matrix. And then that -1/17, that scalar just gets carried through. So 2 rows, 1 column. All right, so this will be -7 plus -9. And then -28 plus 15. So again, carrying that -1/17 through, and then this will be a -16 and a -13 when we combine. And then now I'm just distributing in that scalar. And I'm going to have fractions, so I'm going to need to leave them as fractions. So this will become a +16/17, and then a +13/17. And now I am just writing that as the point, so my x and my y. So the point of intersection is 16/17, and then 13/17.